What if I told you that one simple decision, waking up at 5 a.m., could completely change how your mind works? I did it for 30 days, no shortcuts, no snooze button. And what happened shocked me. Why 5 a.m.? Waking up at 5 a.m. is not just a time. It's a lifestyle. It's the quietest hour of the day. No no's, no messages, just you and your mind. I was groggy, irritated, and constantly tempted to hit snooze. My body hated it, my mind resisted every second. But that's normal. When you break patterns, your brain fights back. Someone to tell you that you don't look like a zombie and that it's going well. We kept each other motivated. It helped push through the tough moments. But here's the key takeaway from week 1. Just me and my goals. One thing I started doing was reading more. My thinking got sharper. Ideas flowed faster. I wasn't reacting to life, I was leading it. I had a rhythm. Workout, meditation, journaling, deep work, and it didn't feel like a chore. You see, routines shape our habits and habits form our character. Having a morning routine helped me become more disciplined, more focused, more intentional with my time. Second, it reduced my stress levels. What actually happens to your mind when you wake up early? How does it rewire itself? Well, here's the science. First, your brain forms stronger neural pathways. Every time you do something, you create a pathway in your brain. The more you repeat that action, the stronger the pathway becomes. So by waking up at 5 a.m. consistently, you're creating a strong neural pathway for that habit. Second, your brain becomes more efficient. Studies show that early risers have better focus and less cortisol spikes. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Less spikes mean less stress throughout the day. Third, you experience more dopamine hits. When you complete tasks in the morning, you get a rush of dopamine, your brain's feel-good chemical. These dopamine hits increase your motivation and make you feel accomplished. And fourth, and probably the most important point, your subconscious accepts a new identity. You're not the person you were yesterday. You're becoming someone who wakes up at 5 a.m., someone who takes care of themselves first, someone who understands that they're in control, and that's a powerful mindset shift. It changes how you think about yourself and how you act. Mornings became my quiet time, my meditation. The peace I found there spilled over into the rest of my day. But for those who are willing to give it a try, I say go for it. Try it for 30 days, see what happens to your mind. Comment below if you're in, and if you're ready to take your mornings even further. Subscribe because next I'll show you how I built a millionaire morning routine starting at 5 a.m. See you there. I handled stress better. I reacted less emotionally to external events. Third, it boosted my productivity. I tackled my most important tasks first thing in the morning when my energy and focus were at their peak. This meant more projects completed, more goals achieved, and more satisfaction. Fourth, it sharpened my thinking. In the quiet solitude of the morning, I found clarity. My mind became sharper, my ideas more focused. Problem solving became easier, creativity flowed. It's in these quiet moments that the mind truly works wonders. It was my superpower hour. My mental clarity was insane. I felt more in control than ever before. And that trickled down into the rest of my life. I said no to late night scrolling. I said yes to my purpose every single morning. And guess what? Good habits spread. Just like waking up early became easier, so did other habits. Working out became more enjoyable, reading felt less like work, and staying focused became my norm. In fact, I stopped getting distracted by random tabs. I stopped wasting time on unimportant tasks. I stopped procrastinating. Because when you master your mornings, you master your life. The quiet of the morning became my edge. You see, we live in a noisy world. Distractions are everywhere. But when you start your day with silence, you train your brain to focus. You teach your mind to focus, to be productive, to be calm under pressure. And guess what? That mindset doesn't just change your morning. It changes your life. You become more mentally fit. I discovered that discipline wasn't draining me, it was building me. My brain started craving that 5 a.m. silence. It was worth the struggle. It's amazing how much you can accomplish in just 30 minutes of quiet focus. I also journaled to clear my mind and set my intentions for the day. And finally, I tackled that project I'd been putting off. You know, the one you've been delaying. That's the perfect time to start. Here's how to make the most of your mornings. First, plan ahead. Lay out your clothes. Prep your breakfast. Pack your gym bag. Remove as many obstacles as possible so that when 5 a.m. rolls around, you're ready to go. Second, establish a routine. Consistency creates momentum. So have a set routine that you follow every day. For me, it's workout, meditation, journaling, then deep work. Third, protect your time. Don't let others dictate your schedule. Learn to say no to non-urgent requests. And finally, embrace the power of one. Focus on one big task in the morning. Finish that before moving on to other tasks. Remember, quality over quantity. Also, the best advice I can give you is to not waste your morning scrolling through social media. I did that a lot in the beginning and it killed my vibe. Instead, use that time to do something that makes you feel accomplished and positive. It's okay if it feels painful. In fact, it should. If it's easy, you're not growing. Embrace the struggle because that's where the real growth is. If you don't have a friend who wakes up early, find one online. You're not just waking up early. You're telling your mind, I'm in charge now. So how did I make it through? Well, first, I cut out all social media and replaced it with good books. I downloaded Audible and started listening to audiobooks while I worked around the house. It gave me something to focus on other than the pain in my eyes. And hey, if you're wondering, this video idea came to me during one of those audiobooks. I was like, wait, why do I wake up so early? So that's how you make progress in any goal. Studies show that early risers have better focus, lower stress, and higher productivity, and in that silence, you build clarity. Mental space the rest of the day steals from you. This isn't just about mornings. It's about mindset, identity, and mastering your life before the world even wakes up. There will be days you want to quit. Trust me. I get it. But sticking with something uncomfortable makes it easier to stick with it later. So let's dive in. Now, here's the thing. It won't be easy. The first 7 days, the shock phase. Week 1 was brutal. A week is long enough to build momentum, but not long enough to get too comfortable. It keeps you sharp. Now, remember, sleep is important. Don't sacrifice it completely for some stupid productivity hack. I slept 7 to 8 hours every night. If you need more sleep, prioritize that. Second, I made a commitment to myself to stick with it for at least a week. Third, I found an accountability buddy. It helps to have someone to check in with every morning. And fourth, I visualized the benefits. I thought about how much better my life would be if I had more time and focus. The second week, the adjustment phase. By week 2, things shifted. I started waking up without an alarm. My mornings became mine. No distractions, no stress. The third week, mental rewiring begins. Week 3 was where the magic happened. The fourth week, transformation phase. By the final week, waking up at 5 a.m. became effortless. So here's the bottom line. Waking up at 5 a.m. changed my mind in for big ways. First, it forced me to establish a routine. In a nutshell, waking up at 5 a.m. is like training your mind for the rest of the day. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's face it, waking up at 5 a.m. isn't for everyone. Some people are night owls, and that's okay.